At this time, we're going to skip ahead to item number 6, which is VIATrans trip reservations and scheduling. Alva Carrasco will be presenting that.
My name is Alva Carrasco. I'm the Vice President of Transportation. Sitting on my left is Sylvia Castillo, our new Manager of Paratransit Operations. It's good to see some familiar faces. Today we're going to present our information regarding our new VIATrans reservations window. The new pickup window, which we call the 10-20 minute pickup window, was first introduced back in December at a VIATrans workshop. We've also have informed our VIATrans clientele at 2 other workshops since then, the last one being this past Saturday, July the 20th. The test period began in January of this year, and VIA staff has been monitoring the effects of the new procedure. During our test period, we have decreased the number of no-shows, an average of 6% from January through May. Thank you. No shows, no penalties have decreased an average of 14% from the period of January through May. And I also wanted to mention that VIATrans did not penalize any customers that did not comply with the new pickup window during the test period.
Was this an actual increase in the time that people are given to? We've changed the way we notify people, right?
Correct.
And now that they have that change in the notification system, is this is this less time or more time than they've had?
It's actually we went from a 20-minute window to a 30-minute window.
Okay.
And I'll give an example of how that works. In the current procedure, the customer is given a pickup time, and the van is given 20 minutes to arrive from that negotiated pickup time. If that van is not there within 20 minutes, the customer will contact us and ask where the ride is. What's new in this procedure is the van can arrive up to 10 minutes early than the pickup time. The customer is given 5 minutes from the negotiated pickup time to board the van. And I'll give an example that will make it much more clearer in the next slide. For example, the customer is given an 8:05 pickup time. The van may arrive a few minutes early, but the actual pickup window begins at 7:55, the 10 minutes before the negotiated pickup time of 8:05. The customer from that point on is given 5 minutes to board the van, to come out from their home. And once they board, the van leaves. Now, if the van is, the customer rather, is told the van will arrive between 7:55 and 8:25. So they're told basically to be ready even if the van is there 10 minutes early. Once the pickup window ends at 8:25 in this case, then at 8:26 the van would be considered late and the customer would do what they normally do and call us back to ask where the ride is. Does that make sense? Following board approval, we will be notifying all of our VIATrans customers of the new 10-20 minute pickup window with the official start date, which we would like to implement on September 1st. And again, VIATrans will continue to monitor the progress of the program and the effects. At this point, we've seen good results as far as productivity.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn the meeting over to Gerald Lee, because I think he and his colleagues on the Ad Hoc Accessible Transportation Committee have maybe some answers I'm looking for. So,
Okay, sure. This was at, Chairman Bill Martin was his first meeting, but I've chaired the Ad Hoc Transportation Committee for some years. And this was an issue when it came before the Ad Hoc Committee that we felt it would be important to bring before the entire board, particularly because there are some changes that are being made that impact our ridership, particularly our disabled ridership. And it helped me out here with some of the questions, but you all did work in tandem in discussions with a lot of the paratransit ridership?
That's correct, yes. In fact, we saw that customers are usually out there earlier than they're expected to be. So there was very little effect as far as complaints or any negative impacts.
And the numbers that you showed on the slide and also showed to us at the Ad Hoc Accessible Transportation Committee showed there has actually been a decrease in no-shows, if I'm not correct.
That's correct.
The other thing was, as for those who aren't as knowledgeable dealing with paratransit, scheduling is quite challenging. So by adding from a 20-minute to a 30-minute window, adding just this 10 extra minutes, is it increasing the efficiency of our scheduling?
Yes. Do you want to speak a little bit about that?
It does improve our on-time performance. It helps us to stay on time to pick up the next customers.
Elaborate. So it also assists also those people, not just the person you're picking up, but as you're moving on down the line.
Further down the line, because most of the time people are coming out early, so that assists us later on when we have issues like accidents, construction that we're facing, to get to the next ride on time, to pick up the next customer. Because once you have one customer or an accident or incident, it makes the rest of the trips late. So this improves our efficiency.
And the other thing is, on the outreach to our ridership, and the number escapes me, but I usually know the number of our paratransit ridership, but all of them were contacted.
They received a letter in December of 2012 notifying them of the program and the testing of this.
And during the test, during the pilot program, were there any penalties?
No penalties. They were not giving any penalties. And for this program, they weren't. There were no shows. The regular, usual.
Well, yeah. If it was a penalty, here's the question: if you could still have a no-show if you still didn't meet the requirements of paratransit,
right.
The current guidelines.
Correct. That is correct. Well, we did not penalize anybody for this program.
So can I just go back and ask some questions? So in the 3.5 years I've sat in this chair, I hear three things, right? The first thing I think we've resolved, which is the notification system by which people used to receive a phone call, right? Now that's changed. We implemented a new system, so that seems to have gotten better.
And we're at about 95% there.
The second issue is not your convenience, but the convenience or the inconvenience to the rider when our van or a Star Shuttle van shows up at their house and it's difficult for them to get in or to make their way to the van, the amount of time that they're given or the weather conditions necessary, for them to be exposed to the element. And so that's the second. The third is the issue of routing or scheduling, right? How these vans are routed so that something that should take this amount of time actually takes that amount of time. Or you said, just tell me how that is working now. And then I think Willie May said that there was another forum with the community. And are they on board? Is there some level of consensus that we're moving in the right direction? Was this the focus of that?
And can I add one other thing? In addition to a couple things also, that they're not required to be outside. Our ridership is not required to be outside waiting, because I think there's some confusion on the board. And so if you could elaborate on that, and also about the
No.
5 minutes.
It's that people have a difficult time making their way outside in the window.
Right, as they're walking to the van, I mean, if they
Not
need
confused.
assistance, there's an assist-a-door program where some customers we already have it on file that they need assistance from the door to the van. We assist them. I mean, it may take us 5 minutes. It takes us sometimes 5 minutes to load a wheelchair. So it does take a little time. But we also, if they need assistance at the door or when they come out, we provide that as well. They'll just need to let the driver know, I need some assistance coming to the van, so we provide that. Now, we do stay, did you want to say something? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to address your issue about whether things have improved. So for the past 6 years, every day I look at the paratransit daily report that comes out. Gives on-time performance, it gives denials, it gives a whole slew of information. And when I started, our on-time performance was in the low 80s, the productivities 1.7, 1.6 passengers per hour. Denials were in the 7 to 8% range. Today, routinely, I open it up. Denials are in the single digits, not single digit percent, single digit number of denials, 7, 6, 5, well less than 1%. On-time performance is 86 to 88%. Our productivity is above budget. That's why our expenses are below budget, because our productivity is 5 to 6% above budget. It's 1.88 passengers per hour in that neighborhood. So that's been a result of a lot of different programs that Mary, Gerald, Mr. Martin, and others who have served on the ad hoc committee and the other members have helped us implement, and have what I think have brought us to the precipice of being one of the best paratransit systems in the country. And that's what we tell our customers every time we go to a workshop. We're going to be the best paratransit system in the country. And I think we're getting there, and I think a lot of these programs, this particular policy has also helped, has contributed to that improvement. And so I would urge the board to approve the resolution.
Thank you. So let me say thank you to our board members and to the community for making their voices heard, because I think only in that ecology of people speaking back and forth in an open and frank manner can things improve to this level. It sounds like then the only issue that is hanging, and maybe not the only issue, but an issue that's still hanging out there that I hear about is the qualification or requalification of people's, right? I may not be getting the term right, but the certification, and having to recertify people.
And that is one of the items that we are also going to be looking at reviewing, and how we
You'll bring
can
that back to the board
Yes, sir.
soon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any more questions?
I do also want to thank
Mr. Lee.
There's Larry Johnson there, still younger than Bill Martin, but I want to thank him also for being quite active on the ad hoc accessible committee, and believe it or not, having no problem sharing his feelings and expressing what his thoughts are. So that there's been a great give and take on the committee.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve?
So move.
I have a motion and a second. Motion by Mr. Lee and a second by Mrs. Persenio. All in favor? Motion passes. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Item number 7.